experts calling. G&B Energy makes it easy to bring people together with premium grills, cozy fire features, and clean, efficient propane to make your outdoor season sizzle. G&B Energy features grills by Big Green, Napoleon, and Wilmington, plus reliable expert service. Swing by on Tuesdays and get your grill tank filled for only $10. You heard right, $10 Tuesdays at any G&B Energy location. Visit gbenergy.com for details.
The following is a paid program and does not necessarily reflect the views of WSIC.
I want to see the kind of industries that are opening up.
This is Local Biz Now with Joe Vagnone, where your business matters. Local Biz Now.
You have to determine what is working, what isn't working.
Joe Vagnone is a respected business broker, helping individuals buy and sell businesses. Joe has successfully owned and operated many companies in a variety of industries. This is Local Biz Now. Because your business matters.
Oh, yeah. Welcome to the #1 live talk business radio show in North Carolina. We are coming to you live from our unofficial Burner Cigar studio, where we hope to inspire, inform, and entertain you every Monday afternoon, because that's what we do here at WSIC. I am Joe Vagnone, and you are listening to Local Biz Now, where your business matters. We have interviewed over 1,000 small business owners and community leaders over the years. We have well over 866 videos on our YouTube channel. Please go to Joe Vagnone Business Broker on YouTube, Joe Vagnone Business Broker, and subscribe. We would appreciate that. We are live on the book, live on the tubes, live on the X, live on the chain, and we are anywhere you get your podcast. We will be happy to take your questions on the book, where my loyal leader Julie is monitoring the show and correcting our mistakes as they happen in real time. Which means, if you don't already know, everybody needs a Julie. You are listening to Local Biz Now, where your business matters. Okay, let's just dig in. Local Biz Now is proud to welcome Michael Clegg, CEO and founder of Q Works, a respected leader with a proven track record in business leadership, executive development, career growth, and organizational transformation. Michael has built his reputation by helping professionals and companies navigate change, strengthen leadership, and create results that last. We hand-selected Michael as one of our special hosts because he brings more than just experience. He brings insight, credibility, energy, and a real understanding of what business owners and leaders are facing today. He has a gift for asking the right question, connecting with people, turning real-world business challenges into practical, high-value conversations. Whether the topic is leadership, career development, workplace culture, or building stronger organizations, Michael consistently delivers perspective that is sharp, relevant, and engaging. That's why he stands out as one of our favorite special hosts. Michael Clegg, welcome back to Local Biz Now, buddy. The show's all yours. Take it from here.
Every week, I get to listen to that intro, and week after week, I go, who in the world is Joe talking about? And yet, he's talking about me.
He is talking about you.
I am really excited today to have a very special guest host with me today. Someone that I have known for over 30 years.
Yikes.
I know, right? It does. It hurts to say that out loud, because I still feel that I'm still in college. And I'm here with Lindsey Fisher from Radford University, by the way. I think they call it the Harvard of the South, I believe.
Oh, is that what they call it?
At least that's what I tell people.
We'll say that.
So I'm here with Lindsey, super excited, known her for over 30 plus years, and emphasis on 30 plus. And Lindsey and I, interestingly enough, met back in school and now do very similar things. She is also in leadership development, and I will let her tell her story. But really, truly excited, and I have a feeling after Joe hears you, he's going to want to kick me out and
I
you be
don't
the
know
host
about
week
that.
after week. So anyhow, Lindsey, welcome.
Thanks.
Thank you absolutely for coming and joining us today. I want to get into where you and I like really intersect. And I as I've said to the group, to the listeners, this month of June is all about leadership, all about leadership development. And near and dear to my heart, I think both of our buckets get filled, as we were talking about before we went on air, with helping other people be better leaders.
Absolutely.
Every organization needs great leaders. It doesn't matter if it's a business, if it's a sports team, which, by the way, maybe Lindsey will get a chance to talk about her kiddos and some of the things they do in sports. But first, give us a little bit about what you do. You're here in the Charlotte area.
I am in the Charlotte area. I've been in Charlotte for about 21 years. Lived up in Northern Virginia before that. Yeah, got out of the rat race, and now the rat race followed me here.
Yeah, it's not far behind, is it?
No, but it was a great place to raise the family, and raise my kids, and now I've stepped into this space of leadership that I love, coaching high level leaders and helping them see themselves clearly, align with their energy, and lead with conviction across all areas of life, health, wealth.
And by the way, I would like to say I know some of the people that Lindsey is leading, and these are very, very, very powerful people from a perspective of they know what they want. They've got extremely big goals.
Big goals.
And do not mind being coached and coached hard.
And ask for it.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. And I think that's important because there's so many people. I think at times, whether it be their organization says, hey, you need to get some development. And I don't know if people still take that as a slight, like, oh, I don't need coaching. Everyone should have a coach, whether it's a therapist or a business coach. Everyone should have someone else that gives them some insight to how they show up to other people, which is what really my central theme. I've been talking about it now. This is the third week in a row is self-awareness, and I like to throw this statistic out there that 95% of leaders believe that they are self-aware, but in fact, only 10 to 15% are. And the reason for that is most people, by the time they've become a leader, have had a level of success.
Yes.
And within that success, right, a couple things happen. You have to be introspective and reflective. You have to understand that. But it's the other part of self-awareness that people miss, which is the external self-awareness, which is how do we land on other people, right?
How do people perceive me?
That's right.
Yeah.
So going back to the Radford University story, now we won't get into any of the Radford stories. No one wants to hear that.
Leave the details out, Mike.
But I think it's important. Would you have pictured 30 plus years ago, would you have pictured yourself doing what you're doing today?
I think you and I can both safely say absolutely not.
That is correct.
100% this path found me.
Yeah. How?
I mean, if you knew me at Radford, you probably didn't know at that point in time how lost I really was.
What do you mean?
I didn't know who I was. I was searching externally to find my worth.
Yep.
When through the path that I've led in my life and the experiences, traumas, all of it that I've now turned around and embraced, got me to where I am today.
Yep.
And until you do that and turn around and hug those demons, you carry them with you and it holds you back.
Awesome. Well, I'm really excited that Lindsey's here. We got a lot more to get into leadership development wise. And we'll be back shortly.
12 years strong, Joe Vagnone is still delivering the conversations that count. More local Biz Now after the break, only on WSIC. Local starts here.
Well, it's another warm one, still not quite as humid as we have been. Temperatures for our Monday afternoon into the mid and upper 80s, and will stay dry overnight. Low temperatures a little more comfortable. Lower humidity will fall into the mid-60s. Again, Tuesday, a little cooler, partly cloudy, low 80s, but by the middle of the week, we're back up around 90, and we'll bring back a chance for some scattered showers and storms. That's your forecast from the Surf Pickleball and Kitchen, WSIC. Meteorologist Chase Myers.
Inspire your team and gallop to greatness. Our horses at Willow Equine are outstanding at working with people on leadership and team building skills, perfect for corporate retreats. Visit willowequine.com as you gallop to greatness.
Here is your WSIC community calendar. First up, a friendly monster is hiding throughout downtown Mooresville, and families are invited to join the search. The Find Normie scavenger hunt runs all month long through June 30th. Participants can pick up a Find Normie passport at Fred and June's Books, located at 162 North Main Street in downtown Mooresville. Then visit participating businesses in search of hidden versions of Normie, the Lake Norman monster. Every Normie you find earns a stamp, and completed passports can qualify for prizes and a grand prize drawing. Learn more and download a passport at lakenormanmonster.com. Next, laughter meets a great cause at Stand Up for Good, coming to Kane Center for the Arts in Cornelius on Friday, June 20th. This special comedy fundraiser benefits Farrow's Parenting, a local nonprofit that has been helping strengthen families and prevent child abuse since 1987. Enjoy a night of professional stand-up comedy while supporting programs that make a real difference for children and families throughout our community. Whether you're planning a date night, a night out with friends, or simply want to support a worthy cause, this event delivers both entertainment and impact. For tickets and additional information, visit flowersparenting.org. And finally, the Ada Jenkins Center invites the community to come together for its annual Juneteenth community celebration on Friday, June 19th from 5:30 until 8 p.m. at the Ada Jenkins Center campus, located at 212 Gamble Street in Davidson. This free event celebrates culture, history, and community with local organizations, businesses, family-friendly activities, entertainment, and a special program recognizing the importance of Juneteenth. It's an opportunity to learn, connect, and celebrate alongside neighbors from across Lake Norman. Find event details at adajenkins.org. For more local happenings around Lake Norman, visit liveworkplaylkn.com. That's liveworkplaylkn.com.
12 years of conversations, thousands of insights, and one truth: your business matters. This is Local Biz Now, only on WSIC. Local starts here.
And welcome back to Local Biz Now, where your business matters. Michael Clegg is with us as our special host. And right about now, you're starting to see why he is so special and hand-selected by our WSIC team. Michael is CEO and founder of QWorks, a respected business leader, coach, and strategist who brings real-world insight, sharp leadership perspective, and big value to every conversation. Michael is my friend, whether he will admit it or not. So take it away, Michael. The show's all yours, buddy.
I just hope that when I left the last segment and I did that was pretty good, because Joe is that's his signature call, if you will. So I'm here once again with Lindsey Fisher. She is an old friend of mine from Radford University and also a leadership development expert. And as I said, week 1, week 2, week 3 of June, it is everything leadership development. And from my perspective, I'd be remiss if I didn't say, let's think about something from 30 years ago. Like, truly, if you were to go back then and think about who you are today, is there anything that would surprise the 20-year-old version of yourself of where you are today?
Yeah, I think I shared in the last segment how lost I was at that point in my life. And the person I am today, faith is my number one.
Okay.
It is my foundation. It drives all of my choices. My path is rooted in God first.
Yep.
Serving my family and then serving my community and clients.
Very cool.
And I now know that I'm fully loved and fully capable of anything.
Yeah. It's really cool. So I think back, I don't know that surprises me. You were always a very warm, welcoming, like that was who you were, right?
A people person.
Definitely a people person. So, I mean, that, to me, on the outside looking in, that doesn't necessarily surprise me. But I think about now having my oldest, who just graduated from App State, which, by the way, we have that in common.
We do. Another thing in common.
Your oldest just graduated.
He did.
Baseball player anything you want to share on the baseball front today, maybe, since your phone's still blowing up?
My phone is still blowing up. He's had an exceptional career, and it goes to show, you and I were talking about confidence before.
Oh, yeah.
And, does clarity come before confidence? Does confidence build clarity? The dichotomy between the two. And I was thinking about him because he just finished his 5th year, graduated with his master's, had an exceptional experience at App. And I thought about him on the mound and the pitcher that he was when he was a freshman.
Yeah.
And he put in the reps. And when he made the team, he was a walk-on also. So the coach told him, that's 365 days of tryouts for you.
Yeah.
And he said, bring it.
Yeah.
And he really showed up, and it built his confidence every single day. And the pitcher he was when he just graduated and played his last game at App State was astronomically different from the guy that walked on the mound the first time in the walk-on tryout. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. So, well, that's tough. I mean, college sports, generally speaking, is a full-time job.
100%
for these kids. And
you have to be 100% invested.
You
plus
do.
Some.
You do.
Yeah.
But I don't want to, if you don't want to share any news of why your phone's blowing up today. I understand. We'll keep that
it's
private,
okay.
But.
He just shared with us when he graduated that he wanted to continue playing baseball, and there's not a lot of, I say kids, but he's a grown man now, right?
Yeah.
That want to actually step into that space and love the game and love the strategy and love everything about it. And so he just got picked up last week by the Gastonia Ghost Peppers and played with them in Lexington, Kentucky this week.
That's super cool.
Yeah. So I'm excited for where his journey goes. He learned a lot over the past week.
Yeah.
And just, it's in God's hands.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, his journey is going to be a great one, no matter what.
For those that are in the car listening, I assure you, I can see Jordan, right?
Yes. Yeah.
I can see Jordan's mom glowing with pride and being excited, and rightfully so. I think it's important for all of us to understand that going back to the whole college idea and surprising yourself from who you are.
Yeah.
Like, think about that. You being a freshman kid who's dang determined, I'm going to make this team, and that's just the first step. Like, making the team is a hurdle in of itself, but staying on the team as a walk-on, right. So I think that says a lot about you and your husband and the way that you guys have raised him to get to that point, and then obviously to be playing at the level that he's playing now this week, which is super cool. Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
But think about that from a day-to-day. Like, most people don't get to do what they absolutely love every single day. People chase money.
Yes.
They chase opportunity. They chase status. They chase a lot of things. What do you see? Like, when you're working with some of those entrepreneurs that you work with on a day-to-day basis, where do they find, or where do you see that they get stuck the most?
I think when they are not aligned with their purpose. Right? When they're not aligned with their purpose and they're just grinding it out every day, that's when burnout arises.
Yep.
Right? There's an exercise that I do with a lot of my coaching clients when we first start, and we focus on the 3 Ps. And it's purpose, passion, and principles.
Ooh.
So it's where you're going in life.
Yep.
How you're going to get there.
Okay.
And how you behave on the journey.
Ooh, that's a good one.
And so it's interesting when we look at our path through that filter and start off that way, it makes decisions in business, with your health, with wealth, with relationships, much clearer.
Yeah.
Because
passion,
you're filtering
purpose, passion,
and principles.
I like that. So, okay. So you get people, you have them go through to identify their 3 Ps. Do most of them know? Can they list this pretty easily, or does this require? Because I think about this, I feel pretty good about being able to answer those things. I think principles would be the one where I go, okay, I know what I want it to look like, but I'm not sure exactly how these things are going to pale out. But I mean, do most people fill this out pretty easily?
No.
Yeah.
No. I think that a lot of times people are disconnected with what actually motivates them.
Yeah.
Right?
I fully agree with that.
I just had this conversation with a client last week about real estate agents, and not to overgeneralize, but most of them are driven by money.
Sure.
Well, if you're in real estate and money's not one of your top motivators, you're going to feel massively disconnected, not be happy in that position.
No, it's funny. I didn't know this prior to the show, but I have an article coming out Wednesday. Plug for those people that follow me on LinkedIn.
Read it.
Wednesdays, I do LinkedIn articles, and this week's article is actually about that burnout does not come from effort. Now, it can. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
The physical effort can burn you out, but for the most part, it's not the effort that's burning people. It's the misalignment.
It's a misalignment.
They're operating where it does not fit.
Yes. And so that's where you see breakdown in teams as well. You've got somebody with a skill set that's in the wrong seat, and you're not maximizing their strengths.
I say it daily, and I say it multiple times a day. Stop hiring for skills only to fire on behaviors. What does that mean to you?
Hire for skills, fire on behaviors. You've got, you can teach anybody skills.
Agreed.
Right? I call them hard skills and soft skills. You can't teach somebody soft skills. I can't teach somebody proactivity.
Yeah.
I can't teach somebody dominance.
Yeah.
Or self-confidence.
Yep.
Right? And so it's interesting because I talk to executives all the time about the hiring process. Right now, it's a hot topic.
Sure.
How do I hire the right people?
Oh, yeah.
So that I'm not wasting time, money, and effort.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And I think that connecting with people on that human level, you have to get to know people.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And you can't do that in an hour interview or looking at a resume.
Well, and all too often, and I see this, I've been in the staffing world for 30 years, almost 30 years. God, that's old. But I see it every day, is we get in a conversation, we hit it off with somebody, on paper they look good, now I feel great about them, and I haven't peeled the layer of the onion at all to learn anything about their purpose, passion, or principles.
Right. Do you know how they operate under stress?
That's right.
From that.
Oh, I love this. So like I use something in my business called a PDP assessment, and you're familiar with that. And this assessment does exactly that. It does the behaviors, right? It aligns where people are naturally in their natural environment, and then it aligns how they show up under pressure, which is that gap that we're talking about here of internal versus external self-awareness, because the pressure how people show up under pressure is what others around them see and feel, right?
Yeah.
Experience is probably a better way to say it. So like, how do we get this message out? If someone's driving in the car right now and they're like, man, this really makes sense. Like, I think, because I think we've all done it, I think I hire that way.
Right.
And I used to hire that way. I do not any longer hire that way. But like, how bad really is it? Like, how many people that you're talking to still hire that way?
A lot. And I think these assessments open the door.
Oh, yeah.
Right? They're the key to open the door. They give us valuable information, but then we have to follow up on that. Like, one of the tools that I use is I have an assessment also that measures 21 behaviors as it relates to workplace behavior, relationship, conflict, and self-awareness.
Yeah.
Right? It's also then taking that a step further once you have the person in the seat. Okay, well, how is my team interacting? Let's do consistent training. Let's do quarterly reviews.
We're going to talk about this when we come back.
12 years strong, Joe Vagnone is still delivering the conversations that count. More Local Biz Now after the break, only on WSIC. Local starts here.
Well, it's another warm one, still not quite as humid as we have been. Temperatures for our Monday afternoon into the mid and upper 80s, and will stay dry overnight. Low temperatures a little more comfortable. With lower humidity, will fall into the mid 60s. Again, Tuesday a little cooler, partly cloudy, low 80s, but by the middle of the week we're back up around 90, and we'll bring back a chance for some scattered showers and storms. That's your forecast from the Surf Pickleball and Kitchen, WSIC meteorologist Chase Myers.
This is Sheriff Darren Campbell with the Iredell County Sheriff's Office. Every day, scammers are targeting people right here in our community through phone calls, emails, and text messages, trying to steal your money, your personal information, and even your identity. If someone calls claiming to be from a government, a bank, or even law enforcement, demanding money or personal details, stop and think. Legitimate organizations will never ask for gift cards, wire transfers, or your passwords over the phone or email. If something sounds too good to be true, it usually is. Hang up, don't click that link, and never share personal information with someone you don't trust. At the Iredell County Sheriff's Office, we're working to protect our community, and we're proud to partner with WSIC because local starts here, and keeping you informed keeps you safe. Stay alert, stay smart, and don't fall for a scam.
Jack Frost loves catching unprepared homes. A furnace that sputters, a heat pump that strains, it's his playground. Beat him to it with a fall maintenance check from Horn Heating and Air Conditioning. Fall into the season of Visit hornhvac.com, where your comfort is our business.
Hi, I'm Barbara Kohler with the Kohler Group, a counseling practice located in the beautiful Detweiler Plaza on Reese Boulevard West in Huntersville. We have skilled Christian counselors available to help you using proven clinical techniques, and we offer telehealth throughout the Carolinas. We accept many major insurances, including Medicare. Visit us today at thekohlergroup.net to schedule a complimentary consult, because now is the time to heal.
A good soul isn't hard to find, especially if you're listening to WSIC on Tuesdays at 4.
Hello, and welcome to The Good Soul.
The Good Soul, hosted by Patty Alvarez, features real-world conversations that leave you feeling happy and rejuvenated.
Don't miss a thing. Download the WSIC News app today. WSIC. Local starts here.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. Gains for stocks today as investors eye the U.S. Iran deal and crude oil futures fall. SpaceX shares among those jumping in their second day of trading, adding gains following that blockbuster debut last week that vaulted it into the ranks of the world's most valuable public companies. Listen up if your kids are planning on going to summer camp. Cymet Holdings, the owner of dozens of summer camps, working with lenders to tap cash in its accounts to pay counselors and cover the cost of supplies days before camp arrive. Fox has agreed to acquire Roku. It's a deal valued at about $22 billion, including debt. And the U.S. team's record-setting victory over Paraguay in the World Cup is stoking huge fan enthusiasm and sending ticket prices for its next two games soaring. Prices for the U.S. team's games against Australia and Turkey have risen 68 and 105% over the last few days, according to ticket data. Denise Pellegrini, Bloomberg Radio.
Friendly reminder, don't break when you see the lake.
WSIC. Local starts here. 12 years of conversations, thousands of insights, and one truth. Your business matters. This is Local Biz Now, only on WSIC. Local starts here.
Yeah, you are listening to Local Biz Now, where your business matters. We are so glad to have Michael Clegg back on Local Biz Now, the CEO and founder of QWorks, known for his leadership experience, career impact, and ability to turn business challenges into practical solutions. Right about now, you're starting to see why I have such a respect for my buddy, Michael. Michael teaches leaders to be the reason people stay. Think about that. Michael teaches leaders to be the reason people stay. Michael, the show's all yours, buddy. Take it away.
Thanks again, Joe. Appreciate that. When we left, we were talking about assessments.
Yes.
And how still, after decades and decades and decades of knowing that hiring is a difficult thing to do, first off, I believe most people treat hiring as an event, not a process.
Yes,
so it's not
true.
a continuous thing that's happening. And so we get into this and we fall into that gap of, wow, I really like that person, or I really, really clicked with that person. And what I've found is we hire people that are like us often, right? And this is where I believe, and where I've seen some of my clients change their trajectory with their hiring is by identifying those gaps and using real behavioral data.
Yes.
You were telling a story right? So I during the break, I had brought up, I said, hey, there's something I want to jump into because Lindsey had mentioned something about gaining confidence. And I said, well, I want to talk about the 4 C's. And she had told a story earlier about her son that I was like, this is a perfect segue. So her son gets the call, right, to go play, to be a professional athlete.
Yes.
He gets the call. And on a Sunday night, he has to hop on, like, got to drive home.
Yeah, he's up in Boone. Packs a bag, drives home. Drives down because they're leaving the next morning at 6 a.m. or whatever. Gets on a bus with nobody he knows. Well, okay, so he knew one guy.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Doesn't know the coaches.
Yeah.
Has never thrown to the catcher that's catching
Which
him
is
if he
important
gets
in
in the
baseball.
game. Yeah. But he's driven. He knows what he wants, and he's willing to work through that fear and build the confidence, because the confidence comes from putting in the reps like you and I were talking about.
Yeah, so there's something that is called the 4 C's. And for people that are stuck, like we started to talk about the last segment, you have to commit first. So many people that I've worked with, and I would have to say myself too, until I had a crazy accident, a lot of trauma from that accident that happened to me, that changed everything for me. I was like, you know what? I'm tired of like treading water. I want more in life. I'm not getting any younger. So
sure you are.
Yeah. AI's not doing that great yet, but maybe one day.
Yeah.
So I have found, and I really embrace this whole idea around the 4 C's of you have to commit first.
Yes.
You have to develop the courage after the commitment.
Yes.
Because, what's the old adage is that fear isn't the absence, or courage isn't the absence of fear. Courage is doing it with your pants wet, right? It's doing it anyways. So you commit, you gain the courage, you develop the competence, which is where the reps come in. And it's not until the very end, the last of the 4 C's, is confidence comes. And I think so many people want the confidence first.
They get it backwards.
Yes, they invert that list and they want the confidence and then wonder why the confidence never shows up.
True. And I would say, you could just be as simple as every promise that you keep to yourself. I coach a lot of people that say, they have health and wellness goals, let's say.
Okay.
And they say they want the help.
Yeah.
But then my question is, do you really want to put in the action to get to that goal? And so, confidence comes with promises you keep to yourself. I have confidence that I am going to run the marathon that I'm training for. Right. Every hard conversation that needs to be had creates confidence. So I see teams that have let's just say they've got people on their team that have a high emotional support, and they shy away from those conversations because they want to create harmony and they don't want confrontation.
See it every day.
Right. And then, but what comes out of that?
Yeah, they kick the can down the road, and it just gets worse and worse and worse.
Right.
But if you go ahead,
and there's no confidence.
No,
built.
but you have to do that anyways, even though you're fearful of how the outcome. It's unpredictable,
right?
But once you do it, and then do it again, and do it again, you're putting in the reps. The confidence comes from that because it does get easier to have those difficult conversations.
Absolutely.
Just does.
And you and I've talked about this before. Those difficult conversations can be had as long as you have the right context.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. It does. It has to start with the context.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you lack clarity, which leads to another intersection for Lindsey and I. So I believe in, Leadership Squared is the division of QWorks Group that we do our coaching and development. And I named it Leadership Squared because of the power of 2, connection and culture. And to me, that is what I saw lacking. Everybody wants a great culture, but they don't know how to get it. They think it's ping pong tables, it's stuff, it's money. It's none of that. It's the people, it's the relationships. And so I was like, okay, this is where connection rolls in. Said it last week a couple times. I'm going to say it again. Nothing replaces proximity. Must be present to win, right?
Yep.
In order to build and develop culture, you have to have connection with your people.
Yes.
but there was still something missing. I'm like, okay, we're meeting with people, we're being present. The culture's okay, but there's still gaps. And that gap was a lack of clarity.
Mm-hmm.
There were unspoken expectations. There was people, well, I didn't mean it like that, right? Intent versus impact. You have your 3 that also
Almost
ties
the
in.
same.
Almost the same. What are
Mhm.
your 3?
So mine are clarity, communication, and culture. And I would almost say, you and I were talking about this earlier, I would almost say in that order, because clarity is that self-awareness piece,
Mm-hmm.
right? Which drives communication.
Yep.
How we interact and improve connections.
Yep.
From communication, which fuels culture.
Yeah.
How humans interact with each other. So when clarity's missing, people become frustrated.
They do.
Right? And when connection is missing, people disengage, which in a relationship looks like a defense mechanism.
Absolutely.
Right? And when culture is unhealthy, people leave.
They do.
Right? So almost every organizational challenge can be tied back to one of those 3.
Yeah, I fully agree, and I almost agree with the order.
Almost.
But I think
it's okay. We can agree to disagree.
I think part of the process has to be showing up first,
Mhm.
right? And that's where the connection piece, in my opinion, is so critically important, because just think about how we communicate. So let's imagine this. I call it the presence ladder, and we communicate all day long via text and email. Which is the lowest level of presence that we
100%.
can have.
I just had this conversation earlier today.
The highest level of presence is face-to-face,
Mhm.
but we're also operating in a global environment. I mean, what's the furthest away person from you that you coach geographically? France. I mean, you're not going to do a face-to-face every
I
week.
want to.
That'd be
You
awesome.
know, yeah.
But you're not going to do that. So
Right.
you do the second best, which is Teams or Zoom or whatever it may be, right? And then there's phone calls.
And
So-
text and email.
And text and email, which
And-
is the lowest level on the ladder.
And we have to look at that through the lens of, 93% of communication is nonverbal.
Oh, the Moravian principle.
I
Listen
love
to
that
this.
one.
Me too. Huge fan. And by the way, disclaimer, I do have to say this because Dr. Moravian, if he happens to be in Charlotte listening to us today or checking me out on LinkedIn, he does say, hey, I don't like when guys like Clegg stand on stage or stand in front of a microphone and talk about the Moravian principle because it's not day-to-day communication. I use the Moravian principle. He does say it's for ambiguity and emotional conversations. However,
correct.
To me, it's less about the percentages and more about the groupings.
Yeah,
Because
for sure.
I tease in my keynotes to give the example, hey guys, if your wife texts you and says, call me, what is your initial reaction? It's like, oh crap, what did I do? I'm in trouble.
Is it that?
Yes, that is
It's
yes.
good to know.
Yes. So when Kelly texts me, hey, call me, which she doesn't, but it's very similar to if you give someone a response and they just give you the thumbs up.
There's no tonality in
There's
it.
no tone,
Is
there's no
it,
body language.
Clegg, you better call me right now, or is it, hey, call me?
Yeah. So I read it as the first, or I hear it in my mind as the first one, like, call me now.
Yeah.
Even though that's not what
she meant.
That's not what she meant.
Probably, yeah.
But that's the intent versus impact. So
Right.
so as we get to human connection, or we get to how humans thrive or don't thrive in organizations, I would agree that all of what we just said all apply, which is why human behavior is so complex.
It's
which
so
is
complex.
even more reason why we have to measure behaviors,
100%.
not just KPIs. So we're going to be back with Lindsey Fisher and talking all things leadership today. See you.
12 years strong, Joe Vagnone is still delivering the conversations that count. More Local Biz Now after the break, only on WSIC. Local starts here.
Well, it's another warm one, still not quite as humid as we have been. Temperatures for our Monday afternoon into the mid and upper 80s, and will stay dry overnight. Low temperatures a little more comfortable. With lower humidity, will fall into the mid 60s again. Tuesday, a little cooler, partly cloudy, low 80s, but by the middle of the week, we're back up around 90, and we'll bring back a chance for some scattered showers and storms. That's your forecast from the Surf Pickleball and Kitchen, WSIC. Meteorologist Chase Myers.
Here is your WSIC community calendar. First up, a friendly monster is hiding throughout downtown Mooresville, and families are invited to join the search. The Find Normie scavenger hunt runs all month long through June 30th. Participants can pick up a Find Normie passport at Fred and June's Books, located at 162 North Main Street in downtown Mooresville. Then visit participating businesses in search of hidden versions of Normie, the Lake Norman monster. Every Normie you find earns a stamp, and completed passports can qualify for prizes and a grand prize drawing. Learn more and download a passport at lakenormanmonster.com. Next, laughter meets a great cause at Stand Up for Good, coming to Kane Center for the Arts in Cornelius on Friday, June 20th. This special comedy fundraiser benefits Pharaoh's Parenting, a local nonprofit that has been helping strengthen families and prevent child abuse since 1987. Enjoy a night of professional stand-up comedy while supporting programs that make a real difference for children and families throughout our community. Whether you're planning a date night, a night out with friends, or simply want to support a worthy cause, this event delivers both entertainment and impact. For tickets and additional information, visit flowersparenting.org. And finally, the Ada Jenkins Center invites the community to come together for its annual Juneteenth community celebration on Friday, June 19th from 5:30 until 8 p.m. at the Ada Jenkins Center campus, located at 212 Gamble Street in Davidson. This free event celebrates culture, history, and community with local organizations, businesses, family-friendly activities, entertainment, and a special program recognizing the importance of Juneteenth. It's an opportunity to learn, connect, and celebrate alongside neighbors from across Lake Norman. Find event details at adajenkins.org. For more local happenings around Lake Norman, visit liveworkplaylkn.com. That's liveworkplaylkn.com.
Hi, this is Bob McIntosh with the McIntosh Law Firm in Davidson. Since 1997, we have been committed to providing our clients with competent, caring, and experienced legal services. Learn more at McIntoshLawFirm.com.
12 years of conversations, thousands of insights, and one truth: your business matters. This is Local Biz Now, only on WSIC. Local starts here.
And back with us on Local Biz Now is Michael Clegg of Q Works, a dynamic leader, trusted voice in leadership and career growth, and one of the special hosts we hand chose for the insight and energy he brings. I wonder, do you hire for skill and fire for behavior? Is your team or family members hiding the truth from you? Are you biased when talking and hiring staff? Stick with Michael Clegg and Q Works. Their leadership experience is top in the industry. And I can assure you, supported by Local Biz Now and WSIC, we know the best. And today, that's our very own Q Works founder, Michael Clegg. Michael, my friend, take it from here, buddy.
Thank you, Joe. Once again, I've got Lindsey Fisher from Radford University.
Always
Lindsey,
tied to Radford University.
That's right. We got to shout out to our alma mater.
Yep.
So, first, because I always forget this in these shows.
Yes.
How can people get in touch with Lindsey? How can they get in touch with you?
You can go to my website, which is lindseyfishernc as in NorthCarolina.com, or I am on LinkedIn all the time.
Excellent.
So
Very
find
cool.
me on LinkedIn for sure.
Okay. Love that.
Yeah.
Let's dive into limiting beliefs.
Okay.
Which tend to be, when I think of like going back to your 3 Ps of purpose, passion, and principles, I think a lot of people really, truly get to the end of this wonderful life that we have and have determined that they have not lived. Like, actually, there's a book, The Top 5 Regrets of the Dying, by someone by the name of Bronnie Ware. She was a hospice nurse in Australia. So she took notes for 12 years of all of these patients that are dying.
Wow.
And ended up writing a book about it. And the number one regret, which ties directly into this, is that these dying patients wish that they would have lived their lives to what they wanted, their passion, their purpose, not what others expected of them.
That's so good.
Like, imagine, like, you know, there's no time left. You're out of time.
Right.
The expiration date has arrived.
Right.
And you haven't lived to what, like really truly true to yourself.
Yeah.
How scary is that?
Misalignment. It's very, very.
So how often do limiting beliefs, do you think, play a part in that?
Oh my gosh. I see it all the time, and I can reference back to my 20-year-old self, right? And at that point, I had I'm not good enough.
Yeah.
I'm not pretty enough. I'm not smart enough. I don't belong in this room. All those limiting beliefs. And that's one reason that you and I've talked about, I'm starting the Her Influence program.
Yeah, tell us about that.
So that's an 8-week leadership program for young girls ages 16 to 21. And the reason that I'm starting there is because if we tap into their potential at that age and get them to release these limiting beliefs that I see 30, 40, 50, 60-year-old women carrying still.
Oh, yeah.
Which taps into what we're talking about in this limiting beliefs in higher performers, right?
Yeah.
That they're still carrying those and they still hold them back to this day. And I even see successful, very, very successful women. And I'm just saying women because that's the Her Influence program, right?
Yeah.
I coach a lot of high-level men, but that are still holding on to those traumas and baggage, and it's holding them back in ways that they don't even see.
So I have a mastermind group that started a few years ago after I did some work with Dr. Benjamin Hardy, who wrote 10X is Easier Than 2X. And I know your boss is very familiar, good friends with Ben.
Mm-hmm.
And in this group, I have a word of the year for me.
Right.
And it's identity.
For this year.
For this year,
Okay.
for 2026. And because it was something that happened to me that it was in December. I was fortunate to have an opportunity to do some work with a Fortune 5 organization.
Mm-hmm.
I was extremely nervous walking in the room, right? As you said, and that's what made me think about this, of do we belong in the room? And I wasn't sure. Like I was on the plane. And by the way, this all happened in like 10 days. I got the
Right.
phone call, hey, Clegg, can you be in Dallas like next week?
And yes, of course you can.
And if I said yes, of course, immediately, and then I checked my calendar. But the point is that morning when I walked, and it's this prototypical as you see the big company, the big windows, the big table where you could sit like 75, 80 people, like just looks like one of those crazy tables. And I walked in that room and I was like, holy crap, do I belong in this room? And every self-limiting belief that I've ever had in my life was pouring in.
Yeah.
The cool thing was 2 hours later when I walked out, I was like, hell yeah.
Where was your confidence level at that point?
I belong in this room.
That's right,
And
because you put in the reps.
I did. And I
Yep.
said in that moment when I hop on this plane, I said, my identity is going to be about belonging in the room. And we didn't talk about this, but when you said that, I felt like I needed to share that for somebody because there are a lot of us that go through that. In fact, I had a buddy last week who said to me, Clegg, it's great to talk about all the wonderful things, but there's a lot of people in small businesses that are likely struggling, that are having challenges. And I think a lot of that comes from the self-limiting beliefs. How do you help people get beyond that?
That's so true. And the thing is with high achievers and high performers, it doesn't show up like it does at a younger age, right? It doesn't show up as an insecurity.
Yeah.
Right. And this ties back into the behaviors that we're talking about in the workplace, right? It looks like overworking, right? It looks like people pleasing,
Oh, that's a big one for me.
overachieving. It looks like perfectionism. It looks like control,
Yeah.
right? And so it looks very different. And, a lot of times it's just talking about like, okay, what demons do we need to go back and embrace?
Yeah.
Because you haven't gotten the learning from that. You're holding on to the negative aspect.
You just said something there that I thought was really key. Sorry to interrupt, but
Okay.
I wanted to hit on that is we hold on to these things without whatever these things are, right? It could be, the church that I go to, the pastor was a stutterer
Yeah.
for years, and now doesn't stutter.
Right.
But that was a hurdle that he had to overcome. Because like now he stands up in front of thousands of people, hundreds of thousands when you consider the streaming live and all of that. And without a care in the world.
Yeah, that just made me think of something I was going to share with you earlier. You might know this story, but back when I was at Radford, if there was a class on the syllabus that said oral presentation, I was like, I'm out.
Really?
I am not taking that class. No way. I was paralyzed by fear.
And now you speak for a living.
I felt my voice didn't matter.
Yeah.
And so that's the other foundation behind her influence is everybody has a story and it's there for a reason and it's God-given and it does matter. And it's just how do you use that influence? Because that influence is in everybody, right? Like, a boss can influence a team by creating trust. A parent can influence a child. A coach influences his players.
Yeah.
Everybody has influence, but are we intentional with the way that we use it? And going back to limiting beliefs, I see many high performers that have incredible lives, but they're still carrying these limiting beliefs. I had a limiting belief for years that I had to choose between success and my family. I was raised that way. My dad was there financially, provided for us, but was emotionally distant and detached. And so I grew up with that mindset ingrained in me that I had to choose one or the other. Until I chose a different path and realized that wasn't the case.
Intentionally.
Which
I think so many of us live I like to call the default future, where you just show up doing the same thing day after day after day after day. And then you wake up 30 years later sitting in front of somebody that you went to college with.
Talking on the radio.
Yes. So okay, so I know we only have a few minutes left here. How do we tie this into a nice bow? So we talk about influence. Like, what's the difference of influence and authority? Like, because a lot of people lead with authority and not influence.
That's true. I think that authority is something that's granted. It comes with a title.
Ooh, yeah.
Everybody has the potential to use their influence.
Yeah.
It's just who am I influencing and how am I being intentional?
Without a title, right?
Without a title. You don't need it.
Okay.
Influence comes before authority, but I can follow your authority because I have to, right? You're my boss.
Yep.
I have to listen to what you say. I have to do what you ask me to do.
Yep.
But that doesn't mean I follow your influence necessarily.
By the way, I'm not Lindsey's boss, but
No.
but you can come work with me if you want.
I might.
Come on. But it's true, right? So think about that. Think about how many people that, and having a 14-year-old daughter, which hopefully you're watching, Daddy. Hi, Kinley. Having a 14-year-old daughter and seeing all the noise that these teenage girls go through about what's important and what, like, in the grand scheme of things, we sit back as parents and go, God, I remember doing that.
Yeah.
Like,
And
I wasn't a teenage girl, but
how
just FYI.
transformational if we can tap into their potential at that age. Yeah.
It is. And I do believe that we have so many kids that we can teach about influence over authority. You don't have to be the loudest person in the room. You don't have to talk the most to have influence.
In fact, it's the leaders that do dominate the room that need to recognize, when do I need to turn that down because I've got somebody on my team that's quiet.
Oh, that's so good.
Right.
No, and you see it how many times have you been in a meeting, you go, I know who's going to speak up now. And it's the same person over and over.
How do you unlock that? Or how do you turn that volume up or down on that? It's self-awareness.
100% self-awareness. What a good segue into us ending today. I want to thank Lindsey for coming.
Thanks for having me.
See you next time.
Great radio doesn't end here. Catch the full episode and dive into our